you can preserve your peace, regardless of what's going on outside of you. When you understand that your peace is in your hands, you begin to create boundaries, not just with people, but also with your own mind. Your mind is a powerful tool, but it's only effective if you take control over it. Negative thoughts, doubts, and fears are inevitable, but they don't have to control you. The moment you let go of the need to react to everything you think, you reclaim your personal power. The truth is, not every thought you have is valid or true. Just because a negative thought pops into your head doesn't mean it's a reflection of reality. You can choose to let that thought go, dismiss it, and instead focus on a thought that serves you better. This is how you maintain your peace. This is how you stay in control of your emotional state. By taking control of your reactions, you stop giving power to things outside of you. Think about how much energy you give away when you react to something with frustration, anger, or anxiety. It drains you. When you respond to life's challenges from a place of balance and composure, you conserve that energy. You keep it for yourself where it belongs. It's important to recognize that nothing outside of you can truly steal your peace unless you allow it. When you stop reacting, you start choosing how you feel, and that choice is yours. Whether it's dealing with a difficult person, an unexpected setback, or a stressful situation, you get to decide how much power you're willing to give it over your emotional state. The more you practice this, the stronger your sense of inner peace becomes. Another way to stop letting external factors affect you is by learning to detach from people's opinions. It's so easy to get caught up in what others think about us, whether it's colleagues or even strangers on social media. The truth is, other people's opinions are just reflections of their own beliefs, fears, and perceptions. They don't define you. Their judgment doesn't make you who you are. When you stop living for others' approval and start living for your own peace, you break free from the cycle of seeking validation. You can stand firm in your truth, knowing that it's not about pleasing others or meeting their expectations. Your value is not determined by their opinion. It's determined by your own self-worth. It's important to understand that your emotional state doesn't have to mirror the chaos that happens around you. Life will always present challenges, but when you choose not to let them affect you, you enter a space of resilience. This means that no matter how turbulent things become, you remain grounded. You have the ability to respond from a place of clarity, not from a place of panic. This mindset shift is what allows you to overcome adversity with grace and strength. Instead of letting external pressures control your emotions, you stay rooted in your own sense of peace, knowing that no external circumstance has the power to shake you unless you let you. The final piece in stopping external factors from affecting you is about building emotional immunity. Emotional immunity comes from strengthening your inner self. The more you practice managing your reactions and protecting your peace, the more you build resilience against negativity. You start to recognize that nothing lasts forever, and no matter how tough things seem in the moment, you have the strength to rise above. When you build this immunity, you develop a deeper sense of trust in yourself and your ability to handle whatever comes your way. You stop fearing the unknown and start embracing it with confidence. The challenges you face no longer control you. You control how you respond to them. This emotional immunity is what allows you to stay calm and composed, regardless of life's chaos. There is something incredibly powerful about standing firm in your worth. Too often, we look for external sources to tell us that we are valuable, whether it's praise from others, accomplishments, or approval from society. What if I told you that none of that is necessary? Your worth is inherent. It doesn't need to be proven, earned, or validated by anyone else. It simply is. The moment you realize this truth is the moment you step into a power that cannot be shaken by any external force. It's not about what you do or what others think of you. It's about who you are at your core. You are enough. The world may try to define you, but only you have the right to determine your own value. This understanding transforms everything, giving you an unshakable foundation from which to live your life. Most people tie their self-worth to what they've accomplished, to how they're perceived, or to how much they've achieved. But success is fleeting, and so are other people's opinions. What happens when you fail or when others criticize you? Do you allow that to define who you are? When your worth is tied to these temporary things, it becomes fragile. Your sense of self becomes dependent on external validation, and that leaves you vulnerable. But when your worth is rooted in the simple truth that you are valuable because you exist, nothing outside of you can take that away. Your value is constant. It doesn't fluctuate based on success, failure, or anyone's opinion. It is a core truth, unshaken by the world's ups and downs. Once you embrace this, your confidence becomes invincible. It's easy to let others' perceptions of you affect your sense of self. Whether it's someone you admire, a family member, or a stranger, we often allow their opinions to shape how we feel about ourselves. But let me tell you, their opinions are not your truth. What someone else thinks about you is based on their own perspective, their own fears, and their own insecurities. It has nothing to do with your intrinsic value. The key to breaking free from this cycle of seeking approval is to recognize that their judgment does not define you. You are not what others think of you. Your value is independent of their views. When you truly understand this, you stop living for the approval of others, and instead, you live in alignment with your own truth. The challenge for many people, we are raised in a society that emphasizes external achievements, recognition, and approval. But when you rely on these sources to define your worth, you're always at the mercy of external forces. What happens when the applause fades or the accolades stop coming? Without a solid understanding of your internal value, you're left feeling empty. This is why it's crucial to shift your mindset. Your value isn't tied to what you do or how others perceive you. It's about who you are. Once you recognize that your worth is inherent and unchanging, you can begin to live with confidence and authenticity, not based on others' opinions, but on your own deep understanding of your worth. Living in your own power rooted in your intrinsic value, means that no matter what challenges arise, you are unshaken. Life is full of ups and downs, and the world will try to knock you off course. But when your sense of worth is not contingent on success or failure, you become resilient. Every setback, every criticism, every hardship becomes an opportunity for growth, not a reflection of your value. This resilience comes from knowing that you cannot be diminished by external circumstances. You are more than any opinion. You carry an unbreakable confidence that is rooted in your worth, not in external validation. When you embrace this truth, you become unstoppable. Lastly, recognizing that your worth is unshakable transforms how you approach life. You stop living in fear of failure or judgment because you know that your value is constant. You take risks. You chase your dreams. You face challenges head on, knowing that you cannot be defeated by external forces. This understanding of your worth empowers you to set boundaries, to protect your peace, and to live life on your own terms. You no longer seek permission or validation to be who you are. You are the author of your own story, and that story is grounded in the unwavering truth that your worth cannot be taken from you. The world will try to knock you down, but when you stand firm in your value, you rise every single time. Life has a funny way of throwing challenges and difficulties our way. It often feels like the weight of the world is on our shoulders, and sometimes it's hard to see how we can overcome the hurdles ahead. But here's the key truth. Nothing that happens outside of you has the power to truly affect you unless you let it. Every situation, every encounter, every hardship only has the impact you give it. In the circumstances you face do not have the power to define your emotional state or your journey unless you allow them to. This is where the power of choice comes into play. This is where the power of choice comes into play. You have the power to decide how you respond to everything that comes your way. You can choose to react with frustration, anger, or despair. Or you can choose to respond with grace, strength, and clarity. The ability to protect your emotional state from the chaos around you is a skill. And it's a skill that can be developed. When you understand that nothing external can truly shake your inner peace, everything changes. You realize that the negative words, the challenging moments, and even the criticism from others do not have the power to disrupt your life unless you give them that power. It's not about being indifferent to what's going on around you. It's about choosing how you engage with it. You don't have to absorb negativity. You don't have to let someone else's mood or behavior dictate your own. In fact, when you can maintain your emotional composure, even in the face of adversity, you create a buffer between yourself and the world. This allows you to stay grounded in your own sense of self, no matter the power of detachment. Being able to observe without reacting is one of the most transformative skills you can develop. One of the most important aspects of taking control over your emotional responses is the ability to disengage from the external noise. The world is full of distractions, opinions, and judgments. People are quick to offer their unsolicited thoughts on what you should do, how, or what's best for you. And while it's natural to seek validation and approval from others, it's essential to realize that their perspectives do not define who you are. When you start to free yourself from the constant need to meet expectations, this freedom allows you to live on your own terms, without constantly being swayed by the opinions or judgments of others. You can still be kind, considerate, and open to others, but your peace comes from within, not from their approval. This power of detachment doesn't just apply to others. It also applies to your own thoughts and inner dialogue. We all have moments where we spiral into negative thinking or doubt ourselves. We replay past mistakes or get caught up in fears of the future. But when you realize that you don't have to attach to these thoughts, you can begin to shift your mindset. Just because a thought enters your mind doesn't mean it has to define you, your action. You can choose to let those thoughts pass through without giving them the power to control your emotions or your behavior. In fact, once you become aware of your thought patterns, you can actively replace negative, self-limiting thoughts with empowering, positive ones. The more you practice this, the easier it becomes to maintain a calm and centered state, regardless of what's going on in your mind or in the world around. Life will always present challenges and obstacles, but the difference between those who thrive and those who falter lies in their ability to stay centered and respond intentionally. When you stop reacting to every circumstance, you begin to approach life with a sense of calm and clarity. Instead of getting caught up in the chaos, you can make decisions from a place of inner peace. You stop being ruled by your emotions and start acting from a place of wisdom. This means that instead of letting a stressful situation consume you, you can step back and choose how to approach it. When you approach life this way, you cultivate resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks without losing your sense of self. You become unshakable because you are no longer at the mercy of life's unpredictability. Ultimately, to living a life that's unaffected by the ups and downs of the world is learning to trust yourself. Trust that you are capable of handling whatever comes your way. Trust that no matter what happens, you have the strength and wisdom to navigate through it. Trust that you have the ability to protect your peace, no matter the external circumstances. The more you trust yourself, the less you rely on the external world for reassurance. You no longer need others to tell you that you're on the right path, because you already know it. This self-trust gives you the courage to face challenges, make decisions with confidence, and move through life with a sense of inner calm that no one and nothing can disturb. When you truly understand that nothing and no one can affect your peace unless you allow it, you unlock the power to live a life on your own terms. This is not just about the challenges life throws at you. It's about thriving in the face of them. By taking control of your emotional responses, detaching from the noise around you, and trusting yourself, you transform your ability to navigate the world. You become resilient, unshaken by the ups and downs, and empowered to move forward with strength and clarity. The key to living a life free from external influence is not in fighting against the world. It's in mastering the art of inner peace and self-trust. When you do this, nothing will have the power to hold you back. You will become unstoppable, unwavering, and unshakable. And that, my friend, is where your true freedom lies.